Hi everyone, I'm Cendril and I, and welcome to my second ever Let's Play. And it is of, as you can see, Advance Wars Dual Strike for the Nintendo DS. No, don't go through that again. Come on, there we go. This Advance Wars, for North America anyway, at least as far as I know, is the third one in the series. You had Advance Wars, then you had Advance Wars 2, Black Hole Rising, and then you have this one, Advance Wars Dual Strike. Quickly, a few things about this LP. One, I'm going to show off the campaign, and in some like extra videos afterwards, I'll show off some combat, some survival, and maybe a few other things. It's just system menu, play wirelessly, create maps, battle maps, we'll visit there later, history, view records, view all that stuff later. The second thing about this LP is it will be live commentary. I know. God help us all. So, let's go ahead and get started with the main thing here, the campaign, and let's go. Several months have passed since the war in Macroland. Thanks to Andy, Nell, and the other COs, the Black Hole Army was defeated. The people there can finally live in peace. That's Advance Wars 2, I believe. But in the far-off continent of Omega Land, trouble was brewing. It is from here that Black Hole launched a massive invasion. The enemy army has replenished its might with remarkable speed under the command of a new leader. The last Great War left many questions unanswered, and so Orange Star, Blue Moon, Green Earth, and Yellow Comet have joined forces to create the Allied Nations. Determined to free their homeland, they launch a counterattack. I really like the Allied Nations logo. I think that was really cool. Excuse me. And as the lady said, let's move out and get started with the campaign. Rachel, I want you to be careful. This looks like it'd be a tough battle. Don't you worry about me, sis. You've got your hands full over in Macroland. We may not have a big presence here in Omega Land, but we're not alone. With all four of the Allied nations working together, Black Hole's no match for us. I'm glad to hear that. Still, I've sent a few of our COs over to give you a hand. Just hang in there till they arrive, and don't do anything rash, okay? I've got it, sis! My Omega Land COs can take anything Black Hole dishes out. Ha! I know. And with you in the field, I got nothing to worry about. I don't think I'll be able to join you, though. That means you're in charge of field training any new COs, alright? Got it. Good. That is all, soldier. And by the way, don't call me sis, not when the other COs might hear. Oh yeah, that might get them wondering about your age. Hey, that's not what I'm saying at all. I have my orders, Commander Nell. I'll take care of everything. Rachel, signing out. Click. Yeah, Commander Nell is the leader of the Orange Star Army. So Commander Nell is your sister? Yep, we both enlisted about the same time, but Commander Nell's smarter than me, so she rose through the ranks fast. Luck had something to do with it too. Yeah, Nell is notorious for being extremely lucky. Nah, you're razor sharp, Rachel. I guess I haven't been much of anywhere, but I haven't met anyone smarter. Ha! Take one step out of Omega Land, and you'll be tripping over COs with way more skill than me. But listen, Jake, Omega Land is in very real danger, and we can't count on getting back up from Macro Land anytime soon. We can't even be sure where all of our allied COs are now either. You and me are the only ones left to stop the enemy, Jake. Sounds like our backs are up against the wall. All in all, you're taking this pretty well. You're not worried? Nah. Well, yeah, maybe a little. But with you rolling beside me, I know it's all good. Don't even think I'm doing all the work. You're going to have to pull your weight. It's time to start training. I'm warning you, though. I'm not going to go easy on you. What? Oh, let me turn my music down. Yeah, cool. I'm listening. And with that, let's begin Mission 1, Jake's Trial. let's go. So this is your typical tutorial mission. The orange units on the map are yours, Jake. The blue units are mine. They're on special loan from Blue Moon's army. The real enemy is Black Hole, so their units will be black. Don't forget. This moving triangle is the cursor. You'll use it to give orders to your units. Tap one of your units and issue an order, Jake. Cool, I'll give it a shot. Now you'd be able to use the stylus to just click where you want to go. I'm just going to be using a D-pad, and you can just select using the A button. So go over a few things. On the right screen is what would be on the bottom screen of the DS, and the left screen is what would be on the top screen of a DS. And the reason I did it this way is that way it would be more zoomed in and you could see more of both screens. On the right screen will be the battlefield, where you move your units and attack and things like that. And on the left is information about the terrain, wherever the cursor is, about that type of terrain. And if it's over a unit, information about that unit. So I'll do some explaining to start with before handing it off to Rachel. And when it comes to the terrain, these are plains, as you can see. Roads, wood, mountain. Every terrain has a certain number of defense stars. Like road has 0, plains have 1, as you can see. For every star, the defense of that unit will go up. Some cities will give funds every turn. So cities give, it says new funds 1,000, will give you 1,000 money, funds, G, gold, whatever you want to call it. I'll end up calling it a whole bunch of things over the course of the LP. But it will give you 1,000 cash every turn. Also, cities can repair land units. We'll go over that a little later. Also, you see different movement types: infantry, tires, air, mech, and tread. Every unit has a type of movement. You see the infantry has move 3 and it has the shoe, the boot, so you match it with the boot. Different movement types are hindered by some terrain. So like tires are hindered in the plains. You see that it has a 2 by tires, which means it takes 2 movement to move just 1 square. So if it has movement 6, it can only move 3 spaces on plains. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. On the left side, you also have how many units you and your opponent have, and how many cities you and your opponent control, and also how much money you and your opponent have, and the COs you're using, commanding officers. When you're over a unit, you'll get information about the unit. Let's go to a mech. It'll tell you how much movement they have and what type of movement by the icon. Vision, which will be used greatly in fog of war settings. I'll explain that more when we get to it. And fuel or rations in the case of mechs. Basically, how many spaces they can move overall before they can't move anymore. Like this has 70 out of 70. Most units have a main and a secondary weapon. The mech has a bazooka as its main weapon. Excuse me. And it'll show an icon over what it's used against. So for here, it's used against vehicles. Now, with the circle inside means that it's strong against that unit. Means it will do well against that unit. And the 3 of D is how many shots of the bazooka it has. Make sure I make that clear. The number 2 weapon is a secondary weapon, which will be used if the primary weapon is out or it's just used against certain units. Like if a mech goes up against an infantry, it'll use the machine gun to save bazooka ammo to use against vehicles. If it has a triangle, like under the machine gun under vehicles, it means that it can damage it, but it's really, really not effective. So don't count on it. I think that's it for now. So let's let Rachel do some explaining. Unit was selected as a mech unit. It's a direct combat unit. That means it needs to be next to an opponent to attack. And as an aside, most units are that way. It has the firepower to challenge tank units, something infantry units can't do. However, it will take heavy damage if it gets attacked. You'll want to strike first to avoid being wiped out. When you select a unit, the area around the unit changes color, like this. See the highlighted boxes? You're looking at this unit's movement range. Tap where you want to move to, then select either attack or wait to finish moving. Tap cancel to resend the order. So let's go ahead and move our mech unit over here and attack the quote enemy unquote tank. And here we get a battle animation. Yay. I only did 5. That's fine. As you can see, the tank units got to counterattack. So, with the 5 units they had left, 5 out of the 10, or HP you could say, they get to swing back at the mech and do some damage. As you see, my mech took 2 HP worth of damage. Let's move on to the tank. That's a tank unit, a direct combat unit that must be next to an enemy to attack. Tanks have great speed and firepower, so I'm sure you'll be using them often. And Rachel's right about that. Tanks are a very solid unit. They're pretty cheap considering what they can do. As you see, they have 9 out of 9 cannon, which is effective against vehicles. They also have good movement at 6. And they use tread, which usually isn't bogged down by terrain. The only terrain that it's bogged down by on this map is the woods. And even then, it only takes 2. So considering its movement, speed, and it's got some decent punch too for how much it costs, it's a very solid unit. I would just move on to this. And I forgot to talk about this last time. As you can see, it says damage 55%. That means it'll do 5 to 6 damage. Sometimes the 5% will roll, the extra 5% will roll down and only do 5 damage, as in case of the mech. Sometimes it'll round up and you'll do 6 HP worth of damage. That's what the damage percentage means. Also, when you target an enemy, you can see how much HP they have left. You can see it on the screen too, but I'm talking about the grayed out box in the lower corner of the right screen, lower left corner of the right screen. It also tells you how much fuel and how much main gun ammo the enemy unit has left. So let's wipe out this tank. There we go. It's out of HP, it blows up. And I'm explaining things way too much. I'm sorry, that's just my nature. Hopefully it'll help though. The unit you select is an infantry unit. It's a direct combat unit as well. In addition to attacking, infantry and mech units can also capture cities and bases. There's a white city and an orange city near your infantry unit, right? The orange city is one of your bases. This means it's under your control. The white city is a neutral city. It's not under any army's control. Why would I want to capture a city like this? Good question. If you capture a city, you earn funds from it every day. Also, resting a unit on a base restores some of its HP, ammo, and fuel each day. If I remember right, I think it tops off ammo and fuel, and it'll recover 2 HP a day. A day is a turn in-game. Whoa, that's cool! So capturing enemy cities must be pretty important then. You got that right. Taking control of enemy properties is a solid strategy. One we will be employing often. So, just as a demonstration of capturing. There we go. And now Rachel will do some more explaining. You've started capturing, haven't you? Check out the dark window in the corner. This is called the cursor window. That flashing number is the capture number. Once that number hits 0, the property you're securing is captured. An undamaged unit with 10 HP can reduce a capture number by 10 each day. So at best, capturing a property will take you 2 days. And while we're on the subject, you shouldn't move a unit while it's capturing. If you forget and move, the property's capture number will return to full. The same is true if that unit is defeated, so be sure to defend the capturing unit. Oh, and another thing. See that 3 next to the star icon? That's the terrain bonus. The higher the number, the better the defense it gives. The max is 5, so a 3 is pretty good. When you've given commands to all your units, tap the menu button shown above. This opens up the map menu. At the bottom of the menu is the end command. Select this to finish your turn. Once you do that, the enemy's turn will begin. Then it'll be your turn to attack, right? Yep. And even though this is training, I'm not going to go easy on you. So, instead of tapping up there with the stylus, you can also just go to a blank space and hit the A button. And it'll pull up this menu, and end your turn is what she was talking about. You can also do a quick save. You can also do some options. Yield, basically retry, turn the music on and off, and switch visuals, like if you don't want to see the battle or you don't want to see the capture animation. You can also exit the map. You can get some intel, battle status, which just gives you status about how the battle is going. Terms, destroy all of my units to win. Good luck. Tell you what you have to do to win, and you can get some unit info if you just want to look at all your units at a glance, which could be helpful in later maps where there's a lot of units. I don't tend to use it that much though. And CO, you can get info on the COs, like Jake here, a young, energetic, orange star CO commanding officer who is a top-notch tank commander. It also tells you what they like. So hit clubbing, likes to go clubbing, and miss, easy listening. He's more of a rock kind of guy. If you can hear his music in the background. By the way, love the music in this game. Fights well in the open. Firepower of all units increased on planes. Every CO has their perks, like they're good at something. As for Rachel, a young orange star CO, she strives to follow in the footsteps of her big sister Nell. Brings a breath of fresh air to her units. She likes hard work, and she hates excuses. Her troops are quite hard working, and they increase base resupplies by 1. So instead of getting 2 HP back, I believe they get 3 HP back. Existing skills, I'll go over that later. CO powers, I'll go over that later. And here you can see the information about the units and what they're good and not good with. If there's red in the bar, they have increased firepower with that unit. The CO is overly good with that type of unit. Just a white bar, like all of Jake's, they're just normal with that unit. No advantages, but no disadvantages. And if they have blue, they have decreased firepower with that unit. It's not their strong suit. So, that's all of that. Now we'll go ahead and let Rachel go. We're on day 2. To win this exercise, you need to defeat all of my units. I've taught you the basis of combat, so feel free to move however you want. If you want to know more about a unit or terrain type, tap it to move the cursor, then check the top screen to see in-depth intelligence. Don't forget, I've already gone over that. Thanks, Rach. Get ready to roll, and don't you dare hold back. I'll know if you're going easy on me. Alright, I won't pull any punches. So, let's finish capturing the city. And when you're done capturing, you'll give that capped, and the soldier will salute. We'll go ahead and attack this infantry. Normally, I'd attack the infantry that's capturing. That way they don't get the city. But it doesn't matter too much in this map. So this is just a training one. And with that, we'll end our turn. I like Rachel's music too. And now let's go ahead and finish this map. 5 or 6? 6. Good. And this should do it. There we go. You beat me. Not bad. You may be young, but you've definitely got what it takes to be a great CO. You were born for the battlefield. Yeah, you think so? Sweet. That means something coming from you, Rachel. You've got good instincts, and I'm going to personally make you one of the best. There are going to be some tough times ahead, so stick with me. You know I will. And then you'll get this screen to show how you did. You'll be rated on 3 categories: speed, power, and technique. And depending on how many points you score, you'll get a certain rank. I believe 280 to 300 points is S rank, if I remember correctly. Been about a year since I've played this game, so somewhere around there. I think that's right. Anyway, we got an S rank. 300 is max, 100 points for each category. Those points will then be turned into EXP for your CO. Once they reach 1,000 EXP, their rank will go up. And then when their rank goes up, they get a few different things, and I'll be showing those off later. And then the CO will say something owned that fits their personality. Thanks, Jake. And then you get the points as cash as well. And with those points, you can spend them in the battle shop to buy COs and buy more multiplayer maps and COs to use in different modes, like multiplayer, or versus, I should say. Then you get an update on, oh, not an update, you get a summary, there we go, a summary of how the battle went, how many days it took, on the left side, how many units you had left, how much money you spent, how much damage you took as in cost of money. Remember, Jake lost 2 HP worth of mech units. The buildings you have captured, the units that were produced or given to you that stage, as in this case, we didn't produce any units. How many units you lost. Then you can see that exact same information for your opponent as well. And with that, you move on. You get a fancy fireworks display, yay, because we won. And we'll go ahead and save here. Save complete. Thanks, Rach. And I think we'll move out next time. As you can see on the left side, it says next mission, the new black. It shows you the CO you're going up against. Who's this new he, she, it? Well, you'll see next time. So, I'm Cendril and I. Thanks for joining me at the start of this new LP, and I hope you really enjoy it. It's going to be a fun and crazy ride. So, remember to shoot for the stars, and take care, everyone.